Welcome back to Gaming and Obscurity. I'm Ryan McSwain, and on this episode we're going to be taking a look at Super Mario Bros., the Great Ladder Race game. It was published in 1989 by Tiger Games, one of the many heads of the beast that is Tiger Electronics. It's for 2 players, and the designer or designers are unknown. Now, to me, this looks like a very traditional game that would be in the public domain, perhaps, but my Google Foo came up short, and as far as I can tell, this is an original creation. So, if you happen to know who the designer or designers are, please let me know, and we'll make sure they get credited on Board Game Geek so they can get their day in the sun. Now, Tiger Games, or Tiger Electronics, they're known for such classic games as Full House, the board game, Chauvinist Pigs, and all those licensed Battleship Star Wars games that have all the electronics. But for me, when I hear Tiger Electronics, I mostly think of those little LED handheld games that you would have instead of a real video game. They were about as fun as a digital watch, but not quite as challenging, unlike the vastly superior Game & Watch games from Nintendo. Now, for me, when I found out about this game when I was browsing Board Game Geek looking for images for games that didn't have any images. And when I saw that this was a dexterity game with Mario, I really wanted to track it down. And I found an eBay auction for it, and after that I had to have it. Now, eventually, everyone on Earth that wanted a copy of Super Mario Bros., the Great Ladder Race game, that wanted one, got it, and so I was finally able to afford one on eBay for really cheap. Now, Mario is like the Mickey Mouse of my generation, so he has a lot of nostalgia value for a lot of people, and since I love unique games and I love dexterity games, I just really wanted to try this thing, and we're going to give you a closer look. Some of you may have already noticed that the art for the Great Ladder Race game is actually just traced from Super Mario Bros. 2. In fact, let's put up a shot for comparison. When you look at Luigi, you can see that he even should still be carrying his radish as he's clinging onto that ladder for dear life. Now, when you take a look at the actual components, I mean, they've got that same abysmal artwork, but you can check it out. It is an official Nintendo licensed product. We're dealing with the real stuff here. Now, as far as components go, there are about as few components as you could possibly hope for. You might see, it might get beaten out by Passive Bigs and Bushy Yogi, but other than that, I mean, this is about as simple as it gets. Now, you take Mario, and he clings onto the ladder with this horrible head injury of his, and then to make him go down the ladder, you just rock it back and forth. See? He just creeps on down. Now, you've also got Luigi. This is my brother Evan. He's going to be helping me demonstrate the game. He's going to be playing Luigi because he is slightly taller, much leaner, and better looking. So, the way we play, according to the box, the rules are just race Mario and Luigi down the ladder. It takes skill and control. One slip and you start again. We pretty much do that same thing, but you have to make a lap all the way down and back. And if you fall off, you have to start all over again. Alright? So, it's all in the fluidity of the movement. Fluidity. Come on, Luigi. Just be careful on that last little part.
That part, right?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
You wouldn't think this would have such a skill to it, but I mean, It's really hard to do it without him falling off.
Get out of here. Admit defeat.
You're in my head, man.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh! Oh!
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever.
The Great Ladder Race game probably isn't that one game you're missing from your collection. And to be honest, I never really see it having that weird retro popularity that Loop and Louie and Battling Tops have achieved. But considering most board games based off of video games are about as good as the movies based off of video games, I think they did a great job making a fun dexterity game. It's the kind of game that you can leave set up at the beginning of a game night where you don't really have to explain it very much and it plays quickly. And people are going to have fun, they're going to be laughing, and really, that makes it a winner in my book. Now, I'm having a lot of fun making these videos, so if you have a request, I'd love to hear from you. You can browse my game collection at Board Game Geek. My username is Impression with a 3 instead of an E. You can make requests here on YouTube, you can do it on Board Game Geek, or you can email me at gaminginobscurity@gmail.com. In fact, our next episode is going to be our first ever viewer request. Polluted Monkey from Board Game Geek wanted to hear about De Kutzfahrt zur Teufelsberg, and we're going to be taking a look at this really great large group card game on the next episode. Until then, have fun finding those grails. Okay. It usually takes me about 50 times to get it right, so.
Alright, man.
Action. I'm Ryan McSwain, and on this episode, use the gravity and momentum. Oh! Here it comes. Now, it was published in 19... Oh! Oh! It has made for 2 players. Oh!
This is horrible.
You just gotta hit that groove is the secret. It's not on the box. Okay. Ah!
What? He's stuck.
He'll be playing the part of Luigi because he is taller, slightly leaner. Well, I meant to say it the other way. You're slightly taller and much leaner. So, cut!